What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? It's your boy Kev in the building, Nixon Ish in the building with my man right here. Introduce yourself, my guy.
Salute, salute. Yours truly, Chill Sam, aka Bro I know him sick in the building representing that 305 Miami Heat fans. Y'all stand up. Appreciate you. Shout out to Kev for having me once again for another breakdown. We in here.
We outside, kid. We outside.
We in here. I know. I see you smiling a lot today. I see the smile today. I ain't see too much of that smile after game one, but we see the smiles today. So yeah, I guess today you're gonna talk your ish, but I didn't come to lay down, so we're
That's
gonna get
cool.
into
That's
it.
cool. After a win like that, it was a pretty I will say it was a tough game, right? It was a tough game because we struggled in the first half. Um, you know, again, Brunson struggled. What's up, Darlene? How you doing? Always the first one to show up. Salute to you.
I see you,
Um,
Darlene. Shout out to you. Thanks for showing up. That's what's up.
it was a tough game, man, all the way around. I mean, you still gotta, tip your hat to the Heat, man, because they made it tough for us. But I always say, bro, um, you know, good teams, good teams find ways to win games. You know what I mean? And even though we struggled to put up points in the first half. I mean, in the second half, we pretty much came out gun blazing.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough fought battle. I mean, it could have went either way at the end. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not mad at my boys at all. I'm not mad at my Heat for the effort that they put forward without the best player on the, to me, in my opinion, the best player on the floor, Jimmy. Without Jimmy being there, I'm real still happy about the way that my boys came out. Just on the strength of good coaching and desire and toughness, we was able to make it a game. I mean, we had y'all boys sweating all the way to the end. A couple of questionable calls down the stretch. I will touch on that a little bit later. But
Yeah.
I'm not mad at my boys for the effort and for bringing it in NYC on the road with a team full of undrafted players for the most part, and we took y'all to the wire. So it looks good for us going back to Miami. I ain't too mad. I ain't too mad at all.
Nah, nah, nah. It was a gritty game, bro. It was one of those games that we still had to work for it. But at the end of the day, listen, like I said, good teams find ways to win. These are games early in the season. We struggled to finish. We struggled to finish games early in the season. But I think all that led to us, you know, learning how to figure out how to finish games towards the end of the season. Especially, now with the addition of Josh Hart, that kind
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
it.
Josh definitely did his thing,
Yeah,
but I'm kind of rolling with Breezy a little bit on this, man. Y'all did get a little bit of help from the refs towards the end of the
well,
game.
well,
Shout out to referee Scott Foster, who is
well,
now 6-0 versus the Miami Heat. The 6 games that Scott Foster has officiated for my Heat team, we have lost. So shout out to you, Scott Foster, for repping the NYC. I see you out there, and I know he must have had something going on in Vegas or something like that. But I ain't gonna put it all on Scott Foster. Uh,
well, at the end of the day, like I ain't gonna hold you. That ball did hit the rim, and that should have counted as 2 points.
Yeah, and the
There,
4 point
there,
play.
there,
Let's talk about that. Let's talk
there's more
about that
denying
that,
that.
that 3 point shot that Brunson hit, where the player where Harkenstein was fouled before he even went into a shooting
Yeah,
motion.
if you look at it, he blew the whistle after though, so that's
That
why it
changed the game.
counted. And
You're
they
right.
looked
He blew
through
the
it.
whistle
They
after,
blew
but
it
it almost
after.
looked like he was waiting to see if the shot was going, or he was waiting to see if Brunson
I
was
don't,
going to get the
I
shot
don't,
off
I
before
don't,
he
I
blew the
don't. Nah,
whistle.
I completely disagree with that. That could go either way. I don't think that was the case. why would a referee want to wait if the shot falls to make a call? That
He
I'm not
said,
gonna go with that.
why are we
And
0-6 when he officiates the
listen,
game? I have
we
no
could
idea.
go either way. We could go either way with the referees. They've been blowing calls all season. Like we could go either way. In the first game, y'all was getting away with a lot of ticky tack fouls on us, and we wasn't getting our calls. You know what I mean?
One place that I'm really a little surprised at is the coaching of Spo. Coach Spo, he's a masterful coach. I love the way he calls plays and the way he draws up his X and O's. We were pretty much 5 for 5 after coming out of a timeout and scoring. So that lets me believe that he's drawing up perfect plays in the timeout to come out, and we scored 5 out of those 5 times when we came out of a timeout. But I question why he did not challenge that ball grazing the rim
That's
when,
coaching.
when Gabe
That's on
Vincent went
coaching
up for the
because
go ahead layup.
that's on coaching because
That I will give you that. That was on
that's on
coaching,
coaching
and
because if you feel like that, and I seen it in his face, he was mad, and you had a chance to call a timeout
yeah,
and review the play, and you didn't. So you know what? That's not on the referee. That's on you, Coach Spo.
I will put that in Coach Spo's lap because that
Yeah,
was a
that's on
lapse on
Coach
him.
Spo.
But water under the bridge. Shout out to my man Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin for showing up with the 22 points, 8
That's right.
rebounds, 6 assists.
Mhm.
Our role players showed up. I can't be mad at our role players. Bam Adebayo, however, Bam Adebayo, if you're watching this, 15 points and 8 rebounds on 10 shots, not going to work. You can't do that in a playoff game of this magnitude. Bam, I expected more from you, and I expect more from you in Miami. I understand after the game, he took a lot of the criticism and he self-imposed a lot of criticism on himself. But I would like to see Bam to assert himself much more, especially in the game where Jimmy is not there. If your best player is not there, the second best player has to step up. And I saw he was a little bit too reliant on the role players there. Gabe Vincent, 21 points off of 4 3-pointers. I can't be mad at that. Gabe Vincent is not a guy who we expect to contribute, but for the fact that he was out there pushing y'all boys to the limit, I gotta give him props for that. I gotta shout him out because I know y'all didn't see 22 points. I'm sorry, 21 points and 4 threes coming from Gabe Vincent. I know y'all didn't see that coming in game
No,
two.
I don't sleep. I know Gabe Vincent is capable, is capable of doing it. It's not the first time he's done that to us this year. even in
No,
the
you're
regular,
right. You're
even
right.
in the regular season, he's given us fits. So I'm not. I don't listen when it comes to when it comes to me, bro. I don't sleep on nobody, bro. Anybody. Y'all not here for no reason.
Right,
You know
you
what I
know
mean?
better, and I mean we've had tough battles all season long. Yeah,
Right.
y'all do own, like we talked about earlier in before game one. We talked about the fact that y'all own the season series for with us. However,
Mhm.
we also talked about that none of the games that we played were more than 7 point leads.
They were
Like
all
nobody
close
beat
games.
anybody by more than 7. So we definitely match up well with y'all. So it's not a matter of, if y'all gonna run away with it. That's why I was still shocked that you said y'all gonna beat us in 5 games, which to me is so disrespectful. I still feel disrespected by
That's
that. And
cool.
I
That's
know
cool. That's
deep
what this is
inside
about.
you're
That's
questioning
what
that right
my
now. And you
confidence.
regretting saying that too.
Nah, I don't regret it. I don't. I stand on it, and that's how my confidence is high. My confidence was high as going into the season, and I'll be honest with you. I feel like if Julius Randle would have played in Game One, this series we'd be up 2-0 right now.
I don't see that.
I do.
If
I
Jimmy
do. As
played
a
in
matter of
game
fact, I
two,
want to get back to Julius Randle. You call my guy one dimensional, and he ate y'all up. He ate y'all up. Yeah, let's talk about it.
all right,
Because
let's
that's
talk
what you
about
did.
Julius.
You
Julius
did
showed
say
up. He showed up. I'm not gonna hold that.
it.
Julius showed up, but I mean, with no Jimmy,
Well,
Jimmy plays. If Jimmy plays in that game,
listen,
we're up 2-0.
we could say that. We could say that about the Buck series. If Giannis is up, if Giannis doesn't miss those 3 games, you don't even know what can happen in that
E-
series.
Even in the games that Giannis played in, we still, I mean, outside of
I
that one, we
mean,
still ended up coming through. Like Giannis, we have the antidote for Giannis.
yeah,
Like we just know we match up with Giannis. We have the wall set up at the top of the key. So Giannis is he's
bro.
not the same Giannis against us as he is against y'all and the
Can
rest
you
of the
say
league.
something though? Like in the 2 games that he did play, he averaged in the last game he put up 38 and 20 on y'all. If I am I wrong? No, am I wrong?
Yeah, but what happened in the key moments though, in
So,
clutch moments of the
so,
game? He
all
didn't want
right,
no
so
parts of the
you
ball.
saying you
He
put up a
didn't. He
wall to
didn't want
kind
to
of like
drive
shut
on
him
us,
down though. But in those 2 games that he played, y'all went 1-1. So he missed 3 games. So a lot of that, I mean, they played most of the series without Giannis.
regardless of that
You know
fact.
what
The
I'm saying?
games that Giannis was in, and Giannis played in that last game as well. Giannis
And
had
he gave y'all
diverted and
work.
passed the
Gave
ball.
y'all work
He
though.
didn't want no parts of trying to drive on that zone defense. He didn't want no parts of trying to go to the free throw line at the end of the game. He didn't want no parts of trying to or possibly getting the ball stolen from him. He knows what kind of defense we working with. So yeah, Giannis put up
I don't
all those
know. I
pretty
don't know,
numbers,
bro.
but
I
in
don't
the
know
key
about that.
moments,
I don't know.
Giannis passed it off to Pat Connaughton.
I don't
You
know
know, if
about
he
that
passed
because
it
in
to
that game,
Connaughton in a clutch moment,
I don't know about that because in one game he had a triple double on y'all. He had
bro,
26, 10, and 13. So you can't say that.
those are
You
empty
can't say
numbers.
that.
At the end of the day,
And
those
then
are empty
and
numbers.
then
We're
in
gonna
the
see
last
at the
and
end
then
of
in
the
the last game he had a double double on y'all. He had
at
a
the
double
end of the
double on
day,
y'all.
that's
So
great.
y'all, if y'all made it this far, is most of it. If y'all gonna take it to that without Jimmy Butler playing, that's the reason why y'all here because he didn't play most of the series. He was gone.
Nah, I won't say that. We're here because Jimmy Butler took over that series. Let's be real. Let's just be
No,
honest. And
it's
now, don't
you could
disrespect Jimmy now. We're here
no.
where
All
we
right,
are
so
because Jimmy
you
took
think
over that series.
so
Jimmy
you
was the best player in the Milwaukee series. He's the
okay.
best player so far in these playoffs,
Okay, so
arguably.
can I ask you a question now? Can I ask you a question now? If it's the other way around, right? And you say y'all and actually y'all 500 team without playing without Jimmy Butler, right? So if it's the other way around, y'all think y'all winning that series without Jimmy Butler? And
Well,
and Giannis
we'll
is
never
playing,
we
y'all think y'all
will never know that. We won it without our second best player. We won it without Tyler. We
would
won
you
it
win
without a
it?
guy who
Would
dropped
you win it
26
without Jimmy
who played
Butler
well in
though?
the regular season.
Would you win that series without Jimmy Butler?
You take away
Against a healthy Bucks team, would you win that series without Jimmy Butler?
now you're asking a question that saying, okay, if we lose Jimmy, our best player, we're already without Tyler, our second best player. So you asking me if we're gonna go into the number one
I
team
mean,
in the league and beat them without our two best players? You trying to handicap us and ask me a handicap question? Yeah, we're 9-9 without Jimmy Butler, but what y'all are just a 500 team also without Brunson.
but
So
that's the
let's talk
point.
about it. Yeah, I see you, Fries Tots 9-9 without Jimmy
Y'all
Butler.
nine and
But
nine without because
what are y'all without Jalen Brunson?
you said we was a 500 team
Exactly.
so y'all
Exactly.
500 team without Jimmy Butler. Exactly.
Exactly. So what are we
Which
talking about here? So it's
so my thing
like
is
how New Yorkers say, what are
but
we
my thing
talking about
but
here?
my thing is if Giannis plays in those 3 games, it's a whole different series, bro. It's a whole different
We
series.
can have a whole bag of ifs
It's
because
a whole different
If
series.
Tyler Hero don't break his hand in game number one, then we could possibly sweep Milwaukee.
It's hard to say that when your best player, your number one player, is out.
Well, it's also
Tyler
look.
Hero is not your number one player. Tyler
No, he's
Hero is your
not, but
bench
he's
player.
vital
He's a
to our
role player.
offense. You know that.
Tyler
You know,
Hero is
but
your role player. He comes off the bench.
Tyler
He's
Hero
not
does
your
not
main
come
player.
off the bench. Tyler
Yes,
Hero
he
has
does.
been a
He does.
starter this season.
Oh,
Tyler
this
Hero,
season. This
he
season.
was a backup last season. This season,
Okay, so
Tyler has been
so at
starting.
some point I was correct. So this season he was a starter, but at the same time, if you losing your number one guys for 3 games out the playoff, you're not gonna tell me that's not gonna affect them?
Hey, what did Cameron say in Paid in Full?
Okay,
It's not every day, B. Hey,
so we can
injuries
say the
happen
same
every
thing
day, B.
we can
You know
say
what I'm
the
saying?
same
Like
thing for us
we
because
can be we can
we
play the if game all day long.
we
Bottom
can
line
say
is,
we can say the same thing for us because our main guy was out in game 1.
look,
If Julius Randle would have gave us what he gave us in game 2 and game 1, we easily beat y'all.
Bam Adebayo, y'all are at full strength. Bam Adebayo only gave us 15 points. Max Strus only gave us 17 points on
That's
3 for
cool.
7 shooting.
Right.
Our bench, Cody Zeller gave us 2 points in a turnover. All of these things going on, and we still 2 Scott Foster calls away from beating y'all without Jimmy.
Don't blame that on the
Without
refs.
Tyler. No, I'm
Don't
not
blame that.
blaming
Hold up,
anybody.
hold up,
No, shout
hold
out
up,
to
hold
y'all.
up,
Y'all
hold up,
get the
hold up,
win.
hold up,
I'm
hold
giving
up, hold up, hold
you
up.
that. I'm
Hold
not
up, hold
gonna
up, hold up.
use
Because don't blame that on the refs, because at some point in this game, y'all was up. So don't come and blame the refs
No,
when
we
y'all was
were.
up. Y'all blew the
We
game.
have no
Don't
business.
blame don't
We
blame
have
now
no
the refs
business
because
even
you couldn't
competing,
hold the
y'all. We were
lead.
playing with a team full of nobodies out
It
there,
don't matter.
and we still take y'all to
Now
the
y'all
limit.
playing with a team bunch
Y'all
of
should be
nobody.
afraid. Y'all should be very afraid going to
Why
Miami when
should
Jimmy
we
comes
be
back. Y'all
afraid?
should be afraid.
No,
Like the way
y'all should be afraid because
Duncan
if our guys
Robinson,
wake
9
up, let me
points.
tell y'all, if our guys play the way they play in game 2 in Miami, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna
No,
be a problem. And don't let Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes wake up because we're gonna cook y'all.
like I said, Bam
We
Adebayo
are
wakes up
gonna
from
cook
his
y'all. Trust
slumber.
me, we
If
are not
Bam wakes up
afraid.
from his slumber,
We've gone to Miami and beat you in Miami.
Kevin Love gave us 8 points, and
That's
we were
okay.
still 2 calls away from beating y'all.
That's okay. But that's
Duncan
okay.
Robinson gave us
That's
9
okay. But
points
you
off
know
the bench,
what?
and
Okay.
we were still 2 calls away from
Okay.
beating y'all. Y'all better be
But
afraid.
y'all
And
just like I said,
Jimmy probably
average
could have came
team
out there on one
blow
bad
lead.
ankle, on a bad ankle. If Jimmy would have
Average
played, we
team
probably would have
blow
beat y'all.
lead. Your team is average without Jimmy Butler. Y'all had the game in the bag and y'all blew it.
Let me address Darlene. I'm sorry, Darlene. Much respect to you, Queen. But yeah, at this
That's
point
right,
in the
darling.
game,
Talk to
everybody's
him.
banged up.
Talk to him.
Everybody's banged up. So if you're on the court, then that's as close to full strength as you're gonna be. All right. So I don't want to hear that, we're not at full strength, we banged up. We're banged up and missing people. Y'all played with everybody on your team. Your big three gave y'all
Capitalized.
Julius Randle,
Capitalized.
25 points. Jalen Brunson, 30 points. RJ Barrett, 24 points. Banged up or not, when you got your best 3 players on the court in a playoff games, that dramatically increases your chances against a team who's playing with just one of their stars in the game. Just one. And the fact that we did that on the road and still came within a couple of plays of still wrapping that up and leaving 2-zip. Oh, we feel very confident.
Yo, it's hypocritical. Yo, Carlos, it's bad hypocritical, but it is what it is.
It ain't no hypocritical nothing.
It is what it is. Yo, Carlos, it is what it is, bro. Jimmy Butler and them got all they flowers when they beat us in the game when everybody was praising the Heat. Oh, they went up into the Garden and beat them without no Julius Randle. Now we beat them with Jimmy Butler. Oh, the referees kind of helped y'all, even though we had the lead.
You said yourself that those calls. You just said yourself those calls were questionable.
Those were
game-changing calls.
I agreed with the one call. I agreed with the one call because it was obvious it was a bad call. But
it was a pivotal call, Kev.
Hold up, but that's bad on your coach for not reviewing it.
I admit that. Okay. I agree with that, but that does not change the fact that it was a horrible call. Everyone in the building saw that was a horrible call.
I'm not
even the commentators saw
that it was a bad call. I'm not arguing that it's a bad call.
That's not the reason that we lost the game. No, it was a combination of things. But don't sit up here and act like y'all just ran away with the game. Y'all beat a team full of D-leaguers, and y'all sitting up here poking y'all chest out like y'all going back to Miami about to do something. Like y'all about to win in 5 games.
You just poking your chest out with the same G League team that beat Milwaukee without their star. Y'all was poking your chest out.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why y'all should be afraid. You should be very afraid going back to Miami.
Why should we be afraid?
We did what we were supposed to do. We did. We came into New York and we stole the game. We took home court advantage away from y'all. And now we're going back to the crib so we can get Jimmy back. And then we back to we rolling again.
Can I tell you something? That's just not your crib, though. That's not just your crib, though.
Say what you want to say. Say what you
That's
yeah,
MSG
y'all gonna
South,
be in,
baby.
y'all travel well. Y'all
You
travel
think,
well.
listen, you think you heard a little heat, let's go heat in the garden by one. Nah, you're not going to hear that in MSG South.
Look,
You're going to hear half the arena screaming, let's go Knicks. Let's
yeah, y'all
go.
do that every
And
season,
we
no
was,
matter where y'all
listen,
go, y'all bring
and we
fans,
was the
but yet
best,
this is still
we was
y'all
the
first
best
playoff
road
appearance in the
team.
last 12 years. So clearly that ain't really
Listen,
about nothing.
this was
Y'all can
the
bring
best
all the
road
fans
team.
y'all want. That
We
is still has been no effect on the outcome for the last 12 years of y'all being a basketball organization. Y'all can travel, y'all can bring the whole garden. Y'all can bring Fab, y'all can bring Puffy and Mace, y'all can bring Fat Joe, y'all can bring Remy, bring whoever you want. It don't matter. We still gonna cook y'all in Miami when
right.
y'all come down here Saturday.
All right, we'll see. We'll see come Saturday.
Bring who you
We'll
want
see
to
come
bring down.
Saturday. Let's see if you can shut down my one-dimensional power forward, like you said.
That's all good.
Let's
I'm
see if y'all
looking
can
forward
shut
to
him
it.
down.
We
Shut him
don't have
down,
to
like
shut
you
him
said.
down.
Like you
We ain't
said,
got
he
to shut
can't
him
pass,
down.
right?
We
You
just
said
need
he couldn't pass. Your man was two assists away from a triple
We
double,
don't have
cooking
to.
Bam
We don't got to shut
Adebayo.
him down. We
Your
just need
man was
Bam.
cooking
We just
Bam
need Bam to
Adebayo.
score in the 20s. If Bam scores in the 20s, it's a wrap. He
If
gave us
if
15 points,
if
and we almost
if
beat y'all.
if
15 points from the best player
if
for us on the court, and we almost beat
if
y'all. How are you
if
confident? How are you going to the crib confident when y'all boys? It took y'all
because
two
I told you.
calls. It
Remember,
took
we
y'all
started hitting our shots.
having a game
You know
like that,
why? You
and
know
our
why I'm feel
barely showing
confident?
up.
You know why I feel confident? Because in our first game we shot 20% from three. In our second game we shot 40%. So if we start like I told you in the first game, because we only had a bad half, that's the only reason why we lost that game. If we start knocking down our shots, we win that game, even
Look,
without Julius
look,
Randle.
Chris,
We win
Randall
that
had
game.
damn near a triple double, and y'all still almost lost the game. That really doesn't breed confidence. I don't get it. Yeah, y'all got the W, y'all got the dub, like you said. It was ugly, and you'll take it however you can take it.
I know.
But when y'all playing at full strength
No,
like
that's
that,
not what I said. I said good teams. That's
superstars,
not what I
there's
said.
no reason in the world that
That's
that
not
game
what I
is
said.
even competitive.
That's
That
not
should
what
not
I
even
said.
been
I
a
said good
competitive game.
teams. I said good teams figure out how to win games. That's what I said.
ESPN had y'all blowing us out that game. Like, but
Yeah,
pregame,
but
they had y'all blowing us out.
who listens to
But
ESPN
at the
though?
end of the day,
Who takes whatever
we end up
ESPN
blowing
say
the game
serious?
off of a bad coaching decision.
Whoever
That
takes
ain't gonna happen again.
whoever takes whatever ESPN serious? Whoever takes ESPN
It's
serious,
not gonna
bro.
happen again. Like that bad lapse of coaching is
Bro,
not gonna happen again.
we
Spo is
we
not gonna
we
coach
we knew
that
this series was
poorly
gonna
again.
we knew this series was gonna go down to the wire each game. We knew that. We knew that already. We knew that.
All I'm saying is
That's
I'll
how
take
every
it.
game is.
A loss is a loss, a win is a win. But with your big three scoring like dang near 60, almost 70 points between the three of them, and us rolling out a team full of D leaguers, I'm proud of our boys. I'm proud and I'm
That's good. You
confident
should be
of us
proud. You
going
should
back to
be
the
proud.
crib because we're on the road. We're in the most famous
And you
arena
know, and can I say something?
in sports,
Do
and
you
we
know
still
who? Can
come
I
out there
ask
and
you a
put up.
question? Do you know who was the best road team in the NBA this year?
I have no idea.
The New York Knicks.
That doesn't.
The
You talking about the
New
regular
York Knicks.
season though? You
The
talking
new,
about the
it
regular
don't, bro.
season?
Listen, it don't
This
matter
is
if
a
it was
whole
the regular season. It don't matter. It happened, bro.
different
It
season right
happened,
now.
bro. It happened.
This
And you
is
know what?
a
As a matter
different
of fact,
ballgame.
you saying, "Oh, well, you know, y'all did that in the regular season. We did that in Cleveland too.
Come
We
on,
did
like
that in
let's not talk
Cleveland
about
too.
Cleveland though.
We beat
Let's
them
not
on the
talk about
road. We beat them
those
on the
boys was
road
just
too.
happy to be here.
It
Those boys,
don't
let me
matter.
tell you, my
It
son.
don't matter.
My
It
son's
don't matter, bro. They won
you know,
51
like
games. They made the playoff.
talk about Cleveland. Them boys was gonna get rolled up out of there
Bro,
regardless of who
we
played.
have the same. Remember that
It's not
we
like y'all beat the number one team in the NBA.
we
Not
have
like
the
y'all
same.
did
We
that.
have the
That
same
was us.
experience.
We did that.
We have the same experience. We have the same experience as the Cleveland Cavaliers when it comes to playoff talk, bro.
The Cleveland Cavaliers were just happy to be there.
Nah,
They were not really a threat to y'all. Y'all knew that, and y'all
everybody
smelled it.
had the Cavs winning in 5. What you talking about, Chill?
I don't know
Everybody
I
had
don't
the
know who
Cavs
those
winning in
people.
5,
I didn't.
especially
I
this guy
know I
right
didn't.
here. This guy right here.
I didn't.
The
I know
Knicks
I
fan
didn't.
Breezy. Nick Fan Breezy from the New York Nick vlog, he had the Cavs winning in 5. They
All
had
my
all these
all I'm saying
analysts.
is, what are y'all gonna do?
The only
When he
analyst,
plays,
hold up, the only analyst that had us winning that series, take a guess who it was. The only one. Kendrick Perkins was the only one that had us winning that series because everybody else had us losing in 5 to the Cavs, bro.
I don't see that. I don't see y'all losing. I don't see nobody losing in 5 to the Cavs in the first round. The Cleveland Cavs, without since LeBron or before LeBron, we can't name the last time they've even sniffed the playoffs. So you're really not saying it. So if you're bragging and poking your chest out because you beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, congratulations. Congratulations. You
They
beat the
still a good
Cleveland, you
team.
beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. You beat a
They
team
still
that
a
has
good team
one of the
though.
most putrid
You,
histories
you
of
you're not giving you're not giving
play
that team
in
enough credit.
basketball.
You're not giving that team enough credit. I
You're
don't
not
think
giving you're
so.
not, but you're taking away the
Like
legitimacy
that team,
of
like that
our win
team,
over
like that team
Milwaukee
was a
because
bunch of.
Giannis was banged up.
He
Big
was
deal. He's the
banged up. He missed
MVP.
3 games.
He's
That's
the
not
MVP when
huge.
you play banged
That's
up.
not huge though. That your main star, your number one star, missed 3 games of that series. That's not big time. That's not hard to. How do you win a series without your best player?
Injuries happen, B.
I'm just saying though.
You act like he didn't. You act like he didn't play. He
He
played the
played
first
two
game.
games.
He played
He
the first
played.
game, and he
He
played
played
the last game.
11 minutes in that game,
He
bro.
played the. He was out there.
He
He
played
was out there.
11 minutes.
He was
11
out there.
minutes. Out of 4 quarters, he played 11 minutes,
He
bro.
was out there. That's in one game. He was out
He
there,
didn't even play the
and
whole game, bro.
he was out there. And
Bro, and
if
if
you
you
look at,
lose your best player for 2.5 games, bro, that's huge, bro. You can say whatever you want. I know you're gonna be biased because that's your team.
but
But at the end of the
don't you know
day,
that
it is what
Milwaukee
it
had
is,
a winning
bro.
record without Giannis all season? They had a winning record without him.
That's cool.
That's how you're
You
not just
think
going to be the
you
number
think
one
but
team.
you
You're not
think
going to
you
be the
think
number one
so
team in
you
the
think
whole
so let me tell
NBA
you, let me
just
ask
on
you
the strength
something.
of one player.
You think they still gonna win without Giannis?
You're not going to be the number one team in the league on the strength of one player.
Wow.
Not the number one
Okay.
team in the East, not the number one team in the conference, the
So
number one
so
team
so
in
if
the
they would have lost
NBA on the
if they
strength of one player.
if they would have lost Giannis for the whole year, you think they still would have been the number one team in the East?
I have no idea. I don't have a crystal ball, but
No,
I do
I'm
know.
asking you
I
for
do
your
know.
opinion. I know that you can have an opinion on it though.
I do understand. I do have an opinion also that if Tyler Hero would not have gotten hurt, we probably would have swept Milwaukee.
You can't really say that.
We would have
You
swept
can't
them.
really say that. You can't really say that.
You can't say that either. How can you say
Why?
that we wouldn't have?
He's one of the best players in the league, bro.
Tyler Hero brings 26 to 27 points
That's
in
fine
big
and
games.
dandy.
You
That's
taking
fine
away
and dandy. But
26
we talking
points
about
out of our
Giannis.
lineup, and you telling me
Giannis.
that wouldn't have made a
If
difference?
you compare, we comparing Giannis to we're comparing Giannis to Tyler Hero
No,
now.
you're comparing them. I'm
I'm
comparing
not
the
comparing
impact.
them. I'm
I'm
just
saying
saying
the
that
impact
losing
that
your.
Tyler has on our team.
What I'm
That
saying
he
is
has is a huge impact. You cannot discredit the
and
25.
you cannot discredit the fact. You cannot discredit the fact that Giannis, the number one of the, if not top 3 player in the league, was gone for the
No,
whole
hold on,
series
Fraz. Hold on,
almost.
Fraz. No. I'm not saying that Tyler averages 26 points a game. What I am saying that in big games, Tyler can and will go off for that. How many points did Tyler Hero have in the win that we had against y'all in the regular season, Kev? I invite you to look that up.
I look it up.
And while you looking that up, I'll tell you, it was 26 points, Fraz.
Okay.
That's a big game, Fraz.
But he didn't average that throughout
I'm
the
not
year,
saying
though.
that he averaged,
Okay,
gonna
if
average
he didn't
that.
average
What
20
I'm telling
points,
you
then you
is,
can't say
in
that.
big
Now
games, you can't discredit the fact that he
the
will and
numbers.
can go off like that.
Hold up,
He's our
let's talk about the
second best
numbers
player.
and the impact that Giannis brings to that team, bro.
Look, Giannis
That's
is
not
Giannis. We know that.
that's not a big blow to your team, bro. If you lose
Giannis is an
for most of the
MVP.
series,
60% of Giannis is good, and it should be good enough to carry them boys to where they need to go. 50% of Giannis, he's an MVP.
right?
He's an MVP.
So
And the fact that he's on the court alone, look, Giannis deferred at the end of that game. Giannis, with all the big numbers that he had the opportunity to win the game. Giannis passed the ball. We match up with Giannis. We know how to defend Giannis. So that, coupled with the fact that we were missing one of our key pieces in that series, tells me that we could have finished them sooner. Tells me we could have possibly swept them if Tyler did play. I'm not taking nothing from Giannis. Giannis gonna get his numbers. But at the end of that game, Giannis did not put his head down and attack that basket. Why?
Right.
Why? He's the MVP.
He is the MVP.
We match up with
but
basketball is a game of matchup.
Can I say how the other guys?
Giannis wasn't 100. I see all that.
Did his other guys step up though? Did his other guys step up? Did Bobby Portis step up?
Middleton was cooking.
Chris Middleton, but that was just Chris Middleton. What about the other guys on the team? What happened to them? Did they show up? It's not just them. We need other guys to step up.
You're discrediting our defense. You discrediting our defense because you're making it seem like they just didn't show up. Them boys showed up. They were there, but they ran into a brick wall. You're not giving no credit to our defense. You're not giving no credit to our zone. But that's all right. We're not here to talk about the Milwaukee-Miami series.
I'm just saying, just losing your best.
None of that.
Losing
We're here to talk about the fact that Caleb Martin gave y'all 22 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. What happens when Jimmy is there with that 22 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists?
Right.
What happens when Jimmy is there to facilitate?
If we could say all ifs, right? Because you said
Kevin Love gave us 8 and 6.
You could say a lot of ifs, right? You could say a lot of ifs, right? I could bring up a lot of ifs. If Emmanuel quickly starts lighting y'all up.
But he's out there though.
Hold up.
He's playing though. He can't hit nothing.
Hold up. If Obi Toppin starts heating up, if Quentin Grimes starts heating up,
Obi Toppin
kind of blowout it's gonna be if those guys start heating up and start knocking down shots.
You wonder why Obi's wide open on all those threes? You think that's just by coincidence? You think
he had a bad game?
He's just wide open. We would gladly let Obi
You shouldn't do that. That's why
from here all the way to
y'all lost in the last game. You started leaving Josh Hart open at the end of the court, and he started banging the threes down on y'all.
Stop it!
What you mean?
Obi Toppin is not a threat to us. We will.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that because he still put up some decent numbers in game one. I think he was 18 and 8, 18 points, 8 rebounds
in game 1. Yes.
He hit 4 threes. I mean, he didn't shoot the three all that well, but he still knocked down some threes
all day. He was 4 for 11.
4 for 11. I said that.
We'll gladly let him continue to make that brick house.
11, but in this game, we shot the ball better. RJ was knocking down threes. I think RJ was 5 of 9 from the 3-point line.
I'll tell you something, RJ. I will give you this. RJ Barrett, he's probably the most dangerous player that y'all have against us because RJ, he's multifaceted. He can get in the paint. He can get the mid-range going. He can get it from downtown, and we can't fall asleep on RJ. So shout out and salute to you, RJ. But
I will say you discrediting Jalen Brunson.
I'm not discrediting Jalen Brunson because
you said he's the most RJ. Hold up, you said
without him, y'all are just an average team.
Hold up. You just said he's our most dangerous though. And I have to disagree with that.
I disagree with that.
I have to disagree with that because Jalen Brunson was the mid-range king, bro. He is the mid-range king. Bro.
I disagree with that because I feel like it's easier for us to take Jalen Brunson out the game than it is for us to take RJ Barrett out.
No, man, I kind of disagree with that.
We can structure a defense to limit Jalen Brunson. We did that in game 1. We showed that we can limit Jalen Brunson if we play the right defense with the right pieces out there. But RJ Barrett, on the other hand, I feel like his versatility and his length bothers us sometimes. So I give you that. But Jalen Brunson is a guy that if we stack the top of our zone and put our 3 top defenders at the top of that zone, we can neutralize him to a degree. We didn't have that in game 2. We didn't have the personnel to be able to do that in game 2. Even when Max Strus was out there, Max was a little bit compromised. So even with him filling in for Jimmy and Caleb filling in for Jimmy, they're not Jimmy. Like we just got to admit that and just be real about that. But the defensive scheme that we executed on Jalen Brunson in game one shows that we can neutralize him. But
well, I think a lot. I think a lot of what happened in game one. I think a lot of what happened in game one was we just wasn't knocking down our shots. Our shots wasn't falling because if our 3-point shots fall and we hit our free throws, that's an automatic W.
I don't see that. I don't see that. I see
it does, bro, because we shot 20% from the 3-point line in game one.
Yeah, well, in game 2, in game 2, even with your 3 best players playing as well as you played in game 2,
we shot 20%.
You guys almost lost that game.
Line, right? We shot 20% from the 3-point line, and and not only that, we was 12 of 20 from the free throw line. I'll get one.
Our guards carried us in that game. Our guards is who made that game competitive. Our front line didn't really give us anything. Bam and Kevin Love and Zeller combined for barely 20-something points between the 3 of them. I don't see that happening again in Miami. There's no way possible that our front line plays that poorly again. It's not going to happen. So
I can say the same thing about. I can say the same thing about.
It's a sad day for y'all, and you're in denial right now.
I could say the same thing about our guys. I mean,
we in trouble. We just stole home court from y'all. We just took home court advantage.
We're gonna steal home court.
Now we're going back to the crib.
And we're gonna steal home court from y'all, bro. We're gonna steal home
without our best player, and we took y'all to the wire.
Listen, we didn't. We can say the same thing. You see, this is the hypocritical part. We went through the same thing in game one, bro. We could have beat y'all in game one if Julius Randle plays. This is how I don't understand how you give credit for your team for game one without Julius Randle, but now y'all don't want to give us credit for beating y'all without Jimmy Butler.
Because it's not the same. Because it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same.
What?
Because Jimmy Butler arguably has been the best player in this entire playoffs,
bro,
right or wrong?
So you're telling me,
right or wrong? Julius Randle is the best player, but he's not best player in the playoffs.
Julius Randle just handled y'all in this last game, bro. Y'all had no answer for Julius Randle.
Julius Randle playing against a team full of D-leaguers.
And y'all played.
Do you know where Max Strus? Do you even know where Max Strus went to college? Nobody knows. Do you know where Caleb Martin went? You know where Dave Benson is from? We don't know any of these guys. And these guys, so you poking your chest out over beating the team full of D-leaguers barely.
If you want to be that biased, I understand.
Y'all was supposed
to be that biased.
Y'all was supposed to cook us, but you didn't do it. So that to me gives me the confidence. And no, I'm not discrediting anybody, Fraz. I'm not discrediting nothing. What I'm saying is you're not going to sit up here and act like, oh, Julius Randle was out there cooking. He was out there. He was supposed to. Y'all was supposed to blow us out by
Jimmy Butler was supposed to win game one without Julius Randle. That's the case.
Y'all barely beat us without Jimmy.
And y'all barely beat us. Y'all barely beat us without Julius Randle. Y'all barely beat us. It's the same shit, bro.
You even said yourself that you feel like y'all have better role players than us.
We do. They just not playing well.
That much better than ours. Then how is it that
our role players
almost beat a team full of all of your superstars?
Because our role players didn't play well. That's the difference. Hold up.
I mean, outside of your boy Josh Hart gave you, what did he do? Hold on. Josh Hart,
he gave us almost a triple-double.
He gave you almost a triple-dub this game.
That's right.
But then look at everybody else. Grimes was 1 for 3. Harkenstein, he gave y'all 9 rebounds. And Obi Toppin.
So he gave us how many points he gave us, though?
How many points did Obi give y'all?
Nothing.
Thank you. So how is
it? So imagine. So let me get this. Imagine if those guys start cooking. What's gonna happen?
I can't imagine.
And let me tell you this again.
One thing I can imagine.
If we have Julius Randle in game one, we straight cooking y'all, bro.
If Jimmy Butler was out there with a bad ankle, y'all would have got cooked. Jimmy on one ankle would have went out there.
The same thing in game two and game one, bro.
He almost cooked y'all from the bench without even getting dressed.
You can be biased all you want. If Julius Randle plays in game one, we cook y'all. Cook y'all. We'd be going to Miami up 2-0 right now.
We'll see in game 3. We'll see.
We're
game.
gonna have to see.
Seeing
We're gonna
game.
have to
We
see,
got
bro.
our pieces, and we got our big gun coming back into the lineup. We'll see about all that.
We'll see. We'll see. It'll
Because
be
all we
there,
doing
bro.
right now, we could talk all the ifs in the world, but bottom line is we both are here for a reason. Y'all are here because y'all beat Cleveland in 5. Was it 5 games?
Yeah, 5 games.
All right, and we beat Milwaukee in 5 games. So
What
clearly
up,
we both
y'all?
yo, shout out, salute, salute,
So,
salute, salute.
what up,
What's
Fred?
good,
That's my
man?
boy. Yo, that's my man. Chill.
What's
That's my
good,
guy,
Chill?
Fred.
What's good with you, man? Big up, man. Big up,
Guys,
man.
Yeah,
chopping it
the
up,
vibes is
talking
real
Knicks.
intense. The vibes is real intense right now. But
Yeah, that's a fact, man.
yeah, appreciate y'all for having me again. But
Okay,
yeah,
got
like I
another
said,
guy joining the stream. What's up, Nice? What's goody, Nice?
What's
everybody,
good, brothers?
What up,
Appreciate
man?
you
What
for
up,
pulling
man?
up, man.
what's happening? What's happening? What's
Well,
good?
salute to everybody. I just wanted to say real quick, I just wanted to start off, shout out everybody for watching. You already know it's Team Knicks and Ish in the building. But I just want to say this, Chill, man. I just don't understand it, though, man. And don't worry, I'm going to keep it basketball. Know what I mean? We're going to keep it basketball. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's all
I just
basketball.
want to
Right
know,
love,
though,
right
man.
love.
Bro, you're talking about Randall, our number one scorer, all right? Our best player overall, bro. You got to remember, this is a guy that averages near a triple-double, my friend, all right? So just like you make the point about Jimmy Butler being significant to the Miami Heat, you got to make the same point with Julius Randle to the New York Knicks, my friend. You have to.
I'm not taking anything away from Julius or his contributions to the team. But what I'm saying is, with Julius Randle, with Jalen Brunson, and with RJ Barrett combining for almost 70 points in that game, almost 7. I don't know. It could be 7. It's close to that. With them boys all cooking and them all having their games going, and us playing without our best player, with the team basically full of undrafted stars, undrafted players, and for the game to come down to 2 questionable calls and a poor coaching decision.
One questionable.
Hold on. And for it to come down to that, how is it that your level of confidence is so high going into Miami, where we've already taken home court away from you, with possibly the best player in the playoffs coming back to play in Game 3? And also our second best player having one of the more subpar games that you're going to see him have. He only shot the ball. Bam Adebayo shot the ball 10 times in that loss that we took. Do you really feel like he's going to duplicate that poor performance along with Jimmy Butler coming back and not having an impact?
Can I ask you a question, though? Isn't that on coaching? How do you not involve your second best player into the offense? Isn't that a coaching problem?
I admit that, but we're not going to sit up here and act like we don't have a better coach than y'all. He made a bad coaching decision, but looking at Spo and looking at Tibbs, we own the coaching matchup. Let's not go there. We can talk about that.
Okay, so wouldn't that be
coming out of timeouts and scoring? We could talk about that too.
You can own the coaching matchup, but you don't own the player matchup, especially when Randall plays.
We may not own the starting lineup matchup, but I still feel like we have better.
Bam's been averaging less than 20 the entire playoffs, bro. Don't tell me I'm lying, bro.
Hold up, don't talk over each other. Let's give each other time to talk.
Do you really expect that to continue? Look, I'm not saying we're going to reinvent the wheel and all of a sudden people are going to explode. But come on, you expect this performance from Bam to continue for the rest of the postseason? Do you expect Kevin Love to go 8-6 again? Do you expect our bench to only give us 9 points? Cody Zeller 2 points and a turnover. We had Highsmith out there. A guy. I'm a Heat fan, and I may have seen Highsmith play like once or twice this entire season. Do you expect that same anomaly to happen again in Miami for Game 3?
Okay, so now let me flip the coin now to what you were just saying, right? Because as you speak of your bench, right? Now, if our bench plays to the level that we've played all year, y'all are done.
Oh,
it's not. This is the playoff. You can't rest and rely on what you've done all regular season in the playoffs when we have time to lock in on a player.
You know why y'all were in game 2? And I'm going to tell you why. You just made the point. The bench points. Y'all bench outscored us in game 2. That's the reason why you were still in game 2. Okay? So look at the numbers.
Our
It
team
was
is built
20
for the
something
playoffs.
to like almost 20 for us. I know the numbers. Trust me. I watched the game. It was
Our
20.
team,
Y'all had
our
20
team is
something bench points to our like 17, 18 or something like that. We had a bad day with the bench. The bench wasn't scoring well, okay? I'll be the first to tell you that. But I'm telling you right now, if our bench wake up, chill, and you know we are a better road team. We are the best road team in this league, bro. Trust
you,
me. Trust me, bro. Y'all gonna have your hands full in Miami.
okay,
Y'all
and I
gonna
think
have your
again,
hands full in Miami, bro.
I think you rested on the loyals of the regular season. The regular season, and
Bro,
you're a true
bro,
fan, so you know the difference
No.
between the
bro.
regular
No, I'm
season
not.
and
And
the
I'm gonna tell you
postseason.
why. If
Regular
Randall,
season is
listen,
game to
Randall
game.
might drop a
People
triple
show
double
up in
on
the
y'all in
regular
game
season
3.
that fall asleep in the playoffs. We know this. We know this to be fact. The defense that's played in the regular season is not the same level of defense that's played in the playoffs. The
You're right.
coaching adjustments are not the same as well either. So we can't sit up here and act like the regular season is any kind of barometer of what's going to happen in the playoffs. Because
But what does that have to?
if
But
that
what
was the
does that
case,
have to
we would
do?
have lost game 1 if that was the case.
But what does that? If that was the case, we would have lost game 2. So what do you mean?
Well, you're saying
In the same token,
you're saying that based on y'all having this outstanding regular season performance or whatever it is that y'all had, that's going to play dividends into the playoffs. I'm
what
telling
does that?
you that from game to game, adjustments are made. From game
What
to
does that?
game, different play. No, go ahead.
5-2 in the postseason. What does a regular season have to do with a 5-2 record where the Knicks are averaging near 120 points and holding teams under 110? Come on, man. What
We
does the
are the
regular season
highest
have to do with
rated
that?
team in the postseason.
That don't mean nothing to the
That
Knicks.
doesn't.
No, don't mean nothing. But you sitting up here talking about regular season accomplishments, but when I bring up the fact that in the
I just
postseason
said
we are the
playoffs.
highest
What do
He
you
rated
said
mean regular
playoffs.
season?
He said
I just
playoffs.
said
He
playoffs.
said
What do you
playoffs.
mean?
okay, so forgive
What
me,
you
forgive me.
mean?
But
I just said 5-2 in the playoffs, averaging around 120 points, giving up 110 points. What do you mean regular season? That's what I just said. What do you mean regular season?
the
I'm
regular
going off of playoff numbers.
okay, and
Nice.
That's
you
You
what
got
I'm
also
something to
going
say,
off of.
Nice?
Say it again.
We're in a
You
whole
got
different
something you
animal
wanna
because the
you
playoffs is
wanna
a
spit
whole
a
different
take?
intensity.
Yeah.
Okay?
thank you, Breezy. Thank you,
So I'm
Breezy.
not gonna go off
Sleep.
of regular season stats when I'm watching what my team is doing in the playoffs and I'm watching how your team is lining up defense against my stars. That's what I'm going off of. And so far, y'all did a good job in game 1 with that mini zone converge when Brunson drives to the basket. But without Jimmy Butler there, it's food
We didn't have
on a plate.
we didn't have the personnel to execute that same type of defense. So
And that's
again,
what I'm saying.
shout out to y'all for taking advantage of the fact that we didn't have the same level of defense that we had. But you discrediting and discounting the coaching because
Never that. You
the
can't discredit a coach who got rings. How am I discredit a coach who got rings, bro? Come on, man.
because you're
And I
basically
never now
saying
notice I never said nothing that discredited Eric Spoelstra, did I? That's all I'm asking you, okay? Because I never did. Never
well, in
did.
a way you are.
I
In a way
only
you
spoke
are
on the
because
Knicks.
you
I
just
only
got through
spoke on the
saying
Knicks when I came on.
hold on a second. You just got through saying without Jimmy Butler, the zone is food. Okay, so that's basically discrediting the coaching, saying that the
No,
coach
that's
can't
on
come
the
up with
players. You just
he's
said
not going to
now
see
you're
something in
contradicting
game
yourself because
2
you just
that's going
said
to
you
translate in
don't
game
have
3
the
and adjust.
Hey,
personnel.
Postra is one
let's
of the
figure it out.
best adjusters to
Let's
any
figure it
game.
out.
He's one of the best
Bro,
adjusters. He's going to adjust. Please
you
believe
just
he's
cooked
going to adjust.
yourself, bro. Chill. You just cooked yourself because you just said it out of your own mouth. You didn't have the personnel. So how is it fall on coaches
Of
when you
course,
don't have the
no, it
personnel?
definitely does. We don't have the personnel,
No,
but
it don't.
I
You can't
also
replace
said,
a
hold on,
player.
but I
Coaching
also said
cannot
that
replace a
Spo is one of the
player.
best adjusters that we have in this game. So yeah, we didn't have the right personnel to run the type of defense that he was running in game 2, but in game 3, I guarantee you that he sees something and that we adjust to that. If you don't agree with that, then you don't know Spo. You don't from one
I
game to
do
the
know
next.
Spo because
He's
I've
one of
watched
the
basketball for
masters
almost
of
30 years.
adjustments.
I've watched Coach Spo. I've watched your coach the best player in the NBA with two of the other best players of the top five in
That
the NBA with him and win. Don't say I didn't watch your coach,
that
bro.
has nothing. No,
I'm a
that has
connoisseur
nothing.
of
That has nothing to
basketball.
do with
I
what we're
watch
doing right
games. Yes,
now
it
because
does. Because it got everything to do with the strategy that y'all come with attacking my squad. Yes, it does.
it has
Don't
absolutely.
deny that. Come
I
on,
could
That's
say
man.
a
I
fact.
sat there
Don't
and watched
deny
Coach.
that,
I
bro.
sat there and watched Coach Thibodeau coach an MVP Derrick Rose and not win a lick of a championship. I seen him
And
get.
now
I
you're
seen him
watching
crash and
Coach
burn. I seen him
Thibodeau
crash and
coach a
burn in the
potential
finals. I seen him
MVP,
crash and burn in
and
the
we're
Eastern
going to
Conference Finals.
defeat
I seen
y'all
him
in
crash
this
and
series.
burn in the first round. So again, I mean, what are we like y'all say in New York? What are we talking about here?
Yo,
What are
so
we
so
talking about
so
here?
so all right, my man Nice has joined the panel. Appreciate you, Nice, for joining the
Word.
panel. He's been sitting there for quite a
Hold on, I'll be
while
back in a minute.
patiently.
I'm about to
So
go
so I
outside real
want to
quick. I'll
hear
be
what my
back in a
man
minute.
Nice gotta say, man. Appreciate you for pulling up, bro.
For sure, for
Salute.
sure. Hey, Newsy, I'm gonna give you a quick shout out, bro, because just think about it. Don't don't be pushing us while we down, and we won't be pushing you while you down. Because think about it this way, Newsy. think
All right.
Touche, touche,
think about it this
touche. Go
way.
ahead, man.
Like pretty much at the beginning of the season, everybody expect the Buck to actually beat you guys. And it was a fact. And look what you guys did. So that's props to you guys. Same thing goes with Cleveland. Of course, it wasn't with the same level as the Bucks to you guys, but there was more people rooting for Cleveland than the Knicks. And just think about it. The way you say it, like, oh, we wasn't even supposed to be you guys with Randall, and you guys did not have a Butler. Is we pretty much even, you know? The only thing that I could say is that I wish that Jimmy Butler get better because I don't want to see it this way. I don't want the what if Butler was all right, if Brunson was all right, if Julius Randle was all
If
right
Josh
because
Hart wouldn't try to baseball slide into Jimmy Butler's
Let's not
ankles and
do
take
that.
him out, we
Let's
wouldn't
not
even
do
be
that.
having this
but
conversation.
he's
But go ahead,
he's
Nice. I'm listening. Go
Let's
ahead.
not do that because
but
we could say the same thing for Kyle Lowry. But go ahead, Nice.
something, Newsy, nobody knows Josh Hart to be a dirty player. That's one of like if it was like one a player that pretty much everybody knows that is a dirty player, I'll give it to you. But come on, man, don't start
So
that way
hold on.
when you ain't got it.
So because a person ain't known for something, don't mean he won't try it.
I don't think that's their mentality. Like Hart to me. I'm not saying that offensively he's in the same category, but Hart the
When
same.
you watch that play in slow motion, did anything look malicious to you?
Bro, if you start looking at everybody how they sweat on the court, you could say just like that, hey man, everybody's sweating crazy, and it can happen to anybody. I just like think about it this way, and I know that a lot of Miami Heat fans they're gonna be thinking, oh, that's effed up. It's better off that it happens to Jimmy Butler. Not saying that. How can I say this so that I don't sound crazy? Jimmy Butler is a different breed. Jimmy Butler is the type of player that he gets hurt, but next day he even with crushes he want to play. It's not the entire team of Miami that is known for that. So Butler's the itch that he's having. He wants to play. So you got to give it to Jimmy Butler. But I'm telling you right now, think about it this way: you guys was in the 27th spot for the worst shooters, worst shooting on the NBA regular season, and you saying about your squad is better. Think about it this way, bro. Like since the playoff, almost none of our bench has shown up. And you know what's the most important part? That the bench is the one that actually ends up winning those predictable moments that we are about to lose with our starters in the regular season. So if Quickly starts showing up, this is the last thing I'm going to finish. But if Quickly starts showing up, if Deuce starts showing up, Grimes starts showing up, RJ, thanks God RJ is figuring it out. Thanks God that he's figuring it out. Because I'm telling you right now, I am one of the most I'm a critic of RJ. But with what I'm seeing, how can you criticize him?
I actually agree with you. I feel like RJ, as I was telling Kev, I feel like RJ is your most dangerous weapon against us. I don't feel like it's Brunson. I don't feel like it's Randall. I feel like it is RJ. But what I will also say, and I will reiterate this again, which is the underlining statement that I want to go with, is I feel like we took a strong punch. We probably took one of the strongest punches that y'all can deliver with your three superstars in a game, and we still made the game competitive. I feel like with that, going back to Miami, knowing that we were literally, and you can say that this wasn't a factor or not, we were literally 2 Scott Foster calls away from winning that game, going back to Miami with Jimmy coming back and with Bam having such a subpar game. I feel confident. And I don't understand how I shouldn't feel confident as a Heat fan with seeing what I saw from our role players in that game. If we get anything from Bam, if we get half of Jimmy, if we get Jimmy out there on a crutch on one bad ankle, I feel like we win that game. Now you can say the same thing for Julius Randle in game 1. If he's out there, then y'all cook us and all of that. But the fact remains that we played that game with pretty much no one, like a team full of D-leaguers and undrafted players, and still came out there and we delivered and almost came home with it. Almost don't count in nothing but horseshoes, so I get that. But the confidence level is very high for us going back to Miami.
But you want to know what's the funniest thing? The Knicks is better on the road. So it's a double-edged sword, bro. It's
but
a
again,
I try to tell him nice. I try to tell him nice, but he don't listen.
In these
playoffs, Newsy, real quick. I'm giving you credit where credit is due. Pretty much with everything that you're saying, I agree with you. But at the same time, you gotta know with which team are you talking about, because there's certain team that they do worse on the road than their actual home on home court. So if you beating them in their home court, that says volume, because on the road, you know they ain't nothing. But for a team or on a team that they are notorious, one of the best on the road, even Randall says it like, hey, man, it's that pressure, man. It's that pressure. MSG is not built for everybody. That's why a lot of people and not a lot of players, they look at MSG. It's not that they don't want it. It's that they know whenever they lose, that jersey comes with weight. Because not only the fan base, forget about the fan base. The fan base might be even easier than the actual media. The media will destroy you.
But now, nice to add to that though, nice, because now that the fans have access to all these YouTubes, Twitter, and all this other stuff, they going extra hard on everybody. Like it's extra, like all season long, Knicks Twitter was wild crazy. YouTube was going on, all the content creators on YouTube, like these Knicks players get it from all angles, bro. It never fails.
Well, it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. So that's even more of a reason to say that, hey, we come in there into New York and Madison Square Garden. We steal a game. We come back to Miami.
Right.
We've got the split. So we now control home court advantage. That counts for something. You can say, we're going to come and show up with all of D Block and leaders of the new school and Tribe Called Quest, and everybody's going to come and fill up the Miami arena and all of that. But at the end of the day, we're still at home, and we're still coming
pull
back.
Up if you got time, Ray. Pull up if you got time.
And we still got shout out to Jimmy. We still have arguably the best player in these playoffs coming back in game 3.
That's right. Didn't Julius Randle get hurt against the Heat?
He might have. I don't remember. My memory.
Right. So was that a dirty play?
In the regular season. Like,
so let's get to that though, right? Was that a dirty play when Julius Randle landed on the floor and the guy's foot was under his foot?
I can't think back that far. That was the regular season, but
yeah. I got you. Yeah. You want to put that, you see that, right? Nice. You want to put that you want to put that under the rug, and you don't want to talk about that.
I don't remember that.
Because we know Julius Randle for the rest of the year because of that.
I don't. But hey, Julius Randle is an animal. He's a stud. I'm not. I mean, he's an all-star player. He's
Right.
a walking double waiting to happen. But I don't fear him the way that I feel like RJ is the
You don't
guy.
fear
And I
him?
feel like we can scheme if we put the right defensive scheme together, and Coach Spo adjusts and looks at the film and sees the different things that did not work for us. I feel like we'll be
Ray, what's good,
going
Ray?
back. I feel like we'll be going back to the crib. Shout out to you, Ray. Salute.
Yo, appreciate you, Ray, for coming through, man. What's going on, bro?
Oh man,
Let's get some more of this heat slander. Come on, bring it, Ray. I'm ready. I'm taking on. I'm taking on.
No, actually, if you read the comments though, he kind of gave y'all credit with y'all bench players, so you got to give him credit for that.
No, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
You got to give him credit for that, man. He shouted you out.
Man, Kev, he came in with the mentality like everybody's gonna fight him. It's not like
yeah,
that,
I'm
bro.
ready. But see, I knew the kind of smoke I was getting into. You think I just rolled up here and didn't know what this was? I know what it is. I know what it is.
Last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let Ray kick it. The only thing right now that you guys outbeat us at, coach wise, just because he got his ring, that's one. Two, players, I can't say, bro, because that's still a given. We still haven't even finished this round. But the only thing to me is the main thing is experience. You guys have more experience than anybody right now. Going to the playoff, going to the semi conference, but still getting knocked out. But that helps always for the next year. Our bench, our starters, besides Julius Jalen Brunson, hasn't experienced that. So that says volume right there.
Yeah, we discussed that before game one, and I agree. Like that, and eventually, I feel like that is gonna play a major factor, which is why I felt like it was so disrespectful for your boy Kev to say Knicks in 5. Like, how? Like, come on, fam. Like, I understand New Yorkers are disrespectful by nature. It's just the way y'all are built. Come on, fam.
Hey, no, Noomsy, sorry, man, but
hey,
Knicks
man,
in 5.
Go ahead, Ray. Talk your shit. Talk your shit, Ray.
Yo, this is blasphemy. But go ahead, Ray. Talk, Ray. Speak to me, brother.
Hey, salute to you first off. I've spent about 10 years in Florida, or at least being kind of like based there loosely. So I have a lot of good friends who are Heat fans. I may or may not have some money on this series. So, but just
shout out to Vegas.
Just a small amount for bragging rights. It's nothing serious. But yeah, man, hats off to the Heat. They're being coached up. Spo is very, very experienced. This is what they do. They get undrafted gems. They bring people into their system. They develop them from the ground up, and these people turn into serviceable and, like, I would say, even in a given scheme, high end role players. So I got a lot of respect for what they're doing. It's the defensive coverages for me, because he's just letting them play on offense. He's just like, yo, let's get them open with these screens, let it fly. And it just so happens that they're hitting all of their fucking shots, bro. Like, they're shooting really, really well. And, like, I can't take that away, because, like, you got to hit the shots, right? So that takes some level of skill. But on defense, man, switching up all the coverages, it might be man, then it might be zone, then it might be, like, Spo is treating the game like he's a football coach. Like, from play to play, he's switching things up, and then when he finds something that he really likes, he just sits right there on it.
Respect for you for noticing that. That's something a lot of casual fans wouldn't even notice. But yeah, shout out to you for noticing that. And that's one of the staples of Coach Spo. And I don't know if you heard earlier, but when I was speaking on that 5 of 5 for coming out of timeouts and scoring 5 times out of 5 times, that's can't be overlooked. Like, his Spo's play calling in critical moments is above, it's far above average. Yeah. And that's why I'm really shocked and surprised at the mental lapse that he had in not challenging the ball grazing the rim when Gabe Vincent hit the layup and changed the complexion of the entire game. That's not that to me was a pivotal moment. Again, that's not the reason why we lost, but it definitely contributed And I don't see Spo making a mental error like that again. I don't see that trend continuing. So it gives me even more confidence in knowing that an anomaly took place with our coaching staff, with our bench, with our second best player, Bam. All of these factors played into us losing that game. Salute to y'all because y'all still came out and y'all played the game and y'all won the game. But I feel extremely confident that we are going to take game 3 going back to the crib. And like I predicted, it's going to be a 7-game series either way. So all this Knicks in 5 disrespect, it's really I don't understand where y'all are getting this from. Shout out to Fraz back in the building, but I don't understand how you can see what we just saw in both games and feel like y'all gonna beat us in 5 games. Like I just don't get it.
Can
I'll
I
say
say
this
something to
though.
that, please,
Go ahead,
Newsy?
Ray. Go ahead,
Newsy.
Ray. Oh,
Oh, go
my
ahead.
bad. Go ahead.
Nah, I just wanted to say something to that real quick, Newsy. Nah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't say the series would be. I said Knicks in 6, to be honest with you, because I already knew y'all was gonna make this a competitive series, whether or not y'all had Jimmy Butler in the lineup or whatnot. So I would never take that away from y'all team because the
Oh, that
type of
was me.
team
I
y'all
said
is.
Knicks in
Y'all
5.
won y'all division this year for a reason. All right, so don't think I'm sleeping on y'all at all. I was never sleeping on y'all from the jump or at all. You know, you understand what I'm saying, Noomsy? So please don't get it twisted with that. That's all I wanted to say because we definitely, people like us who real basketball fans over here, we recognize the great players and y'all got some talents on y'all team even without Jimmy Butler playing. So at no time before this series started, Noomsy, did I assume that the Knicks was gonna win this in 5 games. I already knew this was gonna be a competitive series from the jump. And you can ask Kev on that because I even told
Yeah.
Kev that and my guys who I talk to on a regular basis. I told them that as well.
Go ahead,
Respect,
You know
Ray.
what I'm saying?
Go ahead,
respect.
Ray. Chop it up, Ray.
Yeah, well, I'll say this to start to kind of talk my shit. I
I
feel
knew it
like
was coming. The modesty is over now.
I feel like you guys are
Let's
best
go.
you guys best basketball. You've played your best basketball. Whereas I feel like our best basketball. No. In terms of shooting, because you guys were not a great shooting team during the season. But again, this is a new season, right? It's the postseason. So but you guys have shot the ball really, really well, and that's an anomaly. So I feel like you guys have played your best basketball already, and I feel like our best basketball is in front of us, right now. Now Tibbs is getting danced. He's getting square danced up out of here in terms of like adjustments and coaching changes and things like that. But let's give Tibbs some credit on some of the things that he's fighting back. You know what I'm saying? Like in a sense, with RJ playing really, really well. A lot of people feel like he deserved to be in down the stretch of that game. But the reality was he was dying on those screens. You guys are setting screens all game, and he was dying on those
Mm-hmm.
screens. So what did he do? He put Grimes in, who wasn't really doing anything offensively, but he was getting around the screens, which means that we were getting more. We were contesting shots more, and Gabe Vincent got shut down the stretch, right? I can't believe that we're having to shut down Gabe Vincent. But again, that's a testament to their development and what they do down there in Miami, what they instill
See
in
what
those
I'm
players.
saying?
But that's a coaching change right there that essentially helped us to inch that game out because he wasn't getting those clean looks anymore. He really wasn't because this kid was chasing around screens
What's up,
and
man?
not letting him get off anything clean. So I would say that Tibbs is fighting back. I feel like Brunson is basically like a coach on the floor to a degree, right? If you're not going to beat him the same way twice, so he figured some things out. He didn't play well in the first half, but again, he was analyzing the defenses and he was able to come through with a 30 bomb. So what I'm saying is that, yeah, we're not devoid of coaching. We just don't have the better coach in this series. But that doesn't mean that our guy can't figure some things out, right? And he has figured some things out that basically led to wins. Um, yeah, and I agree with the Julius Randle, the conversation about us not having our best player, because Julius Randle absolutely wrecks the Heat every time we play against the Heat. You know what I'm saying? So his presence can't be like, just swept off to the side. So I'm glad we got him back. And it's not just that we got him back, it's about rhythm because Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle weren't playing toward the end of the season for one reason or another. And y'all did injure Julius. Y'all injured Julius. Right? So let's talk about that. But But yeah,
Sure.
man, that's what I
All
got to
right.
say about that.
All right, and I just want to disagree with you on something. I don't feel like we have played our best basketball. Bam has not played his best game. We haven't played our best defense as a team. We're historically, not this season, just historically, as well as in these playoffs, known as a defensive team. We haven't played our best defense. We're giving up way more points than we generally do. Duncan Robinson, who's our stud coming off the bench shooter, has not shot the ball extremely well. We have not gotten the contributions outside of game one from our role players that we generally get throughout the playoffs. So I don't feel like we played our best basketball. I don't feel like we've seen the best coaching job from Coach Spo yet. And I don't even think that you've taken our strongest punch yet. I feel like we've taken yours in game two. I feel like if your role players played any better than they did, then that takes away from what your starters did in those 3 stars. So I think it's a give and take kind of thing. And at the end of the day, I'll live with your 3 stars going off like that as long as we continue to keep your role players at bay and give us a chance at the end of every game with lesser talent. Because I admit that you guys have more talent. You are the more talented team as far as your starting 5. But as far as being coached, as far as role players, and as far as that one guy, I feel like we tipped the scales on that. And I don't think that we've played our best game yet. And I think game 3 will show that.
I'm gonna say this. And I'm gonna read it out loud for you. You must not know what a Nick punch is.
Nah, we took it already.
You
We took
have
it.
not seen. Listen, you have not seen the Knicks when they are playing all together and everything is working and all our shots are dropping and our bench is running on y'all. You haven't seen that yet. You haven't seen an efficient Emmanuel
This is the
Quickly yet.
playoff, and y'all are playing against a championship caliber coach team. And y'all are not playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Y'all are not playing against us in the regular season. This is round 2 of the NBA playoffs. Let me remind you, with the same core team that we have, we were one Jimmy Butler 3-pointer away from going to the NBA Finals last year. So don't sit up here and act like y'all are just playing against some scrub team.
We never said we playing against some scrub team. We never said that.
But you're not.
We never said that.
We haven't seen your punch. What I'm saying,
you haven't.
You can't punch us the way that y'all punch other
but
teams.
You haven't seen
bro,
it.
We haven't even hit you with the whammy yet, bro.
You can't punch us. You can't whammy us the way y'all whammy us.
You haven't seen it yet, though.
Let Quickly and the rest of the gang on the bench.
They had nice
Watch, you're gonna see the whammy, bro.
There's the reason
not gonna feel the whammy.
There's the reason why Quickly and Obi Toppin are out there shooting wide open jump shots. You think Coach Spo is that ignorant that he's just gonna let guys that he feels like is gonna hurt him shoot those shots? We can let Obi build a brick house from here to Harlem. I could care less. He can shoot all the jump shots that he wants. But Obi Toppin ain't finna beat us. Emmanuel Quickly ain't finna beat us.
You haven't seen an Obi Toppin when he's cooking.
He can't cook against us. He can't cook against us.
Nice cooking shit, right?
We shut the stove off. We're not the Cleveland. I'm telling you, we're not those guys. You're not going to get off on us like that. Every single game is going to come down to the same way that this one did. It's going to be a close telephone booth game.
Can I say something, though? Can I say where you wrong?
Just like in the go ahead, speak.
Just like you said, Julius Randle was one-dimensional, and he wasn't going to – and look what he did in that second game. He started cooking y'all. He destroyed y'all. Y'all had no answer for Julius Randle. So yeah, go ahead, nice cook.
I don't even know if it was something that he continued where he left off with Cleveland.
Stop it, Roy. Hold on. I'm sorry. Roy said Cleveland is better than us. Okay, good. I'm sorry.
No. I would never say that.
Y'all got some delusional fans in the chat right now, but go ahead.
I think we can say that for both. But go ahead, man.
I don't know if it's something that Julius Randle continued where he left off, or he really wanted to show up with Miami, because Julius Randle, we all know as Knicks fan, that Julius Randle till this day hasn't produced in the playoff like he normally does in regular season. What he's given us is making us feel even much better. But this is the funniest thing. You have 3 key players for the Knicks that they are number 1, number 2, and number 3. Neither, let's say there still hasn't been a night, if I'm not wrong, that all three of them scored over 30 points. But quickly, Obi, and if I'm not mistaken, Grimes has done that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't even need all three of them to produce. If only one of them, because this is the Knicks mentality. If one of them is cooking, it's over. You're gonna keep on shooting that until tomorrow. That's the way they play. But Grimes, we don't even know. He hasn't even shot. Quickly, man, quickly you give him 10, and now he's missing all 10 of them. And same thing. Well, Obi, he's giving us better productivity. But out of those three, normally there's always two out of those three that always is having a great night that night.
If I'm Coach Spo, I continue to let those boys jack up horrendous shots. I continue to let Grimes chuck it up. I continue to let Quickly chuck it up. I continue to let Obi Toppin chuck it up. Those are not the guys that I feel like are going to beat us. So
clip that.
Don't worry, I'm gonna have a clip. I'm gonna have a clip.
I got one thing you're forgetting about.
Those are not the guys that's gonna beat us. Like where y'all punch is gonna come from is one of those your three-headed monster.
You sleeping? Sleeping?
No. Newsy, wait. Last thing, Newsy. I feel like low key. Newsy is trolling. Hold
up, no. I stand by that. I stand by that because the coaching shows that. I mean, throughout both games 1 and 2, Coach Spo has proven that he's going to live with Obi shooting those shots. He's stuck by that. He's going to let Quickly get open shots. Josh Hart gets open shots. Maybe he shouldn't get too many, but Grimes is getting open shots. Your guys that we're living with shooting are getting open shots. I don't think that's going to change. I think they're still going to get those same shots. They're going to get those same looks, and we're going to live with the results. As long as they're not performing at the clip that y'all are bragging about them performing at, I think we're gonna be fine letting them shoot all day long. If one of them starts to get hot, miraculously, if somebody starts to catch fire, I feel like Coach Spo adjusts. It takes them out the game. But I don't think that even is a focus of Spo right now in his game planning. It's because he hasn't shown that he cares about those guys shooting because they're getting open shots. How many open shots did you see Obi Toppin get in both games 1 and 2?
Well, I'll say this. Coach Spo does care about Quickly because he essentially schemed the same way for him as he did for Brunson. They do the same exact thing for him as Brunson. So they're well aware of what he can do. So it's not necessarily that Spo doesn't care or that he's turning a blind eye to it. It's that Quickly's playing poorly.
I feel like that's a residual of Spo's zone. The Quickly not getting off is just a residual of us playing that 3-2 zone with our bigs at the top of the paint. Any of your guards or any of your perimeter players are going to struggle trying to get involved when we have that kind of wall built. That's the same wall that we built against Giannis. That's the same wall that we play when we're playing against a ball dominant perimeter player. And Spo's a master of that. So I don't feel like Quickly is gonna come up with like the blueprint to break that down. Forgive me if I don't see it happening. And forgive me. Go ahead, Fries. Go ahead.
Or maybe he does, because there's one thing that you haven't mentioned about your team. That's the Achilles heel of your team. Your team is a bottom 5 team in the league in terms of pace. Now, if the Knicks get out,
we're a small team.
If the Knicks get out and start running on y'all in Game 3, look out. If them horses get out and start running and start capitalizing on transition buckets and the transition from defense to offense off the rebound, like how y'all was getting transition players on us, y'all done for.
That's easier said than done. That's easier said than done. We have a defensive team and a defensive scheme that prevents a lot of that. There's a reason why
you wouldn't be a bottom 5 team if you did. That's what I'm saying.
Again,
you wouldn't be a bottom 5 team.
We're not a bottom 5 team in this postseason, though, are we? unless you're talking about my memory lapse where you're going back to the regular season. But in these playoffs, we are not by any stretch of the imagination the
That
bottom
never
five.
happened. That never happened.
Listen.
In these playoffs, we're closer to number
Yo.
one than the bottom five. Hey, shout out to you,
Miss,
Queen. Oh, Mrs. Nix in the building.
Mrs. Nix in the building. Mrs.
You
Nix
may
in the
be
building.
upset, but I'm telling you like this: if the Knicks win Game 3, y'all gonna be in the pressure cooker.
Game 3 is pivotal for either team. What are you
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It's pivotal for either team. If we
Yeah.
win, y'all are in the pressure cooker because then we
I'm
got
more
another one
confident.
at the crib.
I'm more confident in my team on the road.
I'm more confident in my team in Game 3 based on what I saw from all of our role players.
No Jimmy Butler, you don't win. Simple as that, my friend. No Jimmy Butler, you don't win. And Brunson's going to drop another 30
disagree.
if Butler don't play.
We've
I'm
proven
telling
that
you,
we can beat
he's
y'all
going to
without
treat it
Jimmy.
like the West
We've proven
playoffs last year.
Scott
Watch.
Foster ain't gonna save y'all in Game 3.
Brunson is going to drop another 30 if Butler don't play Game 3. I guarantee it.
Save y'all in Game 3.
Who's going to stop Brunson and who's going to stop Randall?
The referee
going to stop RJ?
Blind all of a sudden and not see the ball graze the rim. Too many factors played in that. That's not going to happen again in Game 3. But keep on believing that.
Brunson lives up to the hype, bro. Brunson lives up to the hype. I'm confident in my point guard. I don't know why anybody else wouldn't be if you're a Knicks fan.
Thank you.
You got like my point guard.
You got all of y'all in here. You know,
your point guard non-existent.
Try to convince me.
Kyle Lowry non-existent. Where your man Kyle Lowry at?
Of course, we're not gonna convince you. We're not gonna convince you that you know make you try to turn on your team. Of course that, but you know
it's not turning nothing.
Where your man Kyle Lowry at?
Y'all more worried
than Kyle Lowry at? He ain't non-existent right now.
Y'all worried.
I know everybody can agree with me on that.
Don't worry about Kyle.
Yeah, Ray Cook, Ray.
He a champion. Yes, we do worry about him. Like I said, don't underestimate no team. We worry about all y'all. We got to get it to 4 wins. That's what we worry about.
You'll see it when you see him when you see him.
Go ahead, Ray Cook, Ray.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing I'm gonna say about quickly is that I think your defensive scheme is affecting him, but at the end of the day, he's just playing poorly. He didn't play well in the first round either. You know, this is really his first time getting any sort of substantial minutes in the playoffs. So honestly, I think he's just adjusting as a young player. Whereas you got guys like Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Caleb. These guys are proven. These guys they played these games. And another stat that I looked at was the regular season does matter, and in a sense, because you build on that for the postseason. I think the Heat were in 50 or so games, if not a little bit more, that were decided by 5 points or less. So in addition to the experience that they have in the playoffs, that's essentially the up and down experience that they had during the season as well, too, which I feel like prepared them for times like this. So, yes, coaches do care. They scheme for quickly the same way they schemed for Jalen last round. And you guys are doing the same exact thing and sliding that defensive attention over to him, making sure that he doesn't drive, he doesn't do anything, that he kicks the ball right back. So once he figures that out, man, if he can give us 15 points, if he can give us just 15 points, like it's close to a blowout. In my opinion, humble opinion.
There has been no blowouts between our two teams all season long. So how is your humble opinion just gonna assume that quickly is gonna be the determining factor of a blowout? There's not been any blowouts either way.
Let me tell you, that's my point. The games have been close, and he's given us nothing, literally nothing. So what I'm saying is he's basically our 3B option, right? And if he gives us that 3B production, which is at 10 to 20 points. He averaged about 15 points. He was a 6th man of the year contender, and he's given us nothing. When I say nothing, if he gives us something, we're winning by 10 or more points. And that's just a fact.
And now we're playing the if game again, because I mean, if Duncan Robinson shoots at the clip that he normally shoots at, it's a blowout. If Bam Adebayo gives us a double-double like he does routinely, then it's a blowout. If our team defense plays a lot better than it's played, it's a blowout, and we hold y'all under 100. So I can have that same level of confidence going into Game 3 as y'all have, hoping and wishing that Emmanuel quickly shows up.
Now Duncan Robinson shot like 75% from 3 in like the first round. So like these are things that
if he wakes up and finds that jump shot, we're talking. We're having a whole different conversation. So this game it's a game of ifs. It's a game of ifs, but I like my ifs a lot better
Nah,
because
the shooting is unsustainable, bro. You guys, the shooting is
shooters are
unsustainable. You
gonna
guys,
shoot,
You
my
ain't got
friend.
enough
I
ifs for us
disagree.
then, if
I
that's the case.
disagree. I disagree.
You
Shooters are
don't got
gonna shoot.
enough ifs for the Knicks, bro. You don't.
How
Shooters
many
are gonna
times?
shoot. You don't just wake up and forget how to shoot the ball. I mean, shooters are gonna
you,
shoot. You may
you
lose
don't
your
just wake
touch for
up
a
and
game or
just
two,
magically
but it comes
shoot this
back.
well
Let
for a
Obi hit that
protracted
open
period of time,
three-pointer
though.
in game 3. Y'all done.
Let
Hey,
Max
Lucy.
let Max Strus catch fire.
Max
It's
Juice
a wrap.
you better worry about him even being on the court. That's what you
Well,
better
yeah,
worry
Man,
about.
I saw him. I saw him a little compromised,
He
but we
said-
have the most next man up mentality of any team. If any team can step up after missing somebody, it's us. People buried us after Tyler Hero went down. We were buried. We were not even supposed to compete with Milwaukee, let alone beat them in 5 games without our second best player. So if you want to sit up here and act
But you're
like
talking
Tyler will
about
make
a
a
team
difference,
that wasn't
then
even
do
supposed to
that.
make the playoffs. I mean, that's y'all. Everybody counted us out altogether.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're both here. We're both here now. So let's not sit up here and act like neither like we're just here because of luck. Neither one of us are here because of that. And in the games that we all played against each other, they were all competitive to the wire games. So I don't see any miraculous explosion happening that's going to make it a blowout like y'all trying to make it seem like. I see us losing game 2 in a close game without our best player, Jimmy Butler, and going into game 3 with him coming back and our role players playing much better. So I see that happening for game 3. I see us winning in game 3.
So we going back because it's just like you said. You guys got us on game 1, but it wasn't without Julius Randle. So it's better off you don't even bring that comment right there because one cancels
Exactly.
the other. One cancels the other right there, brother. And the only thing I'm saying is think about it this way. I'm not gonna say Duncan Robinson is not it. We all know Duncan Robinson can light it up.
Exactly.
But on for you to say like on playing the if game, it's not an if game with Quickly. It's more of an if game with Duncan Robinson. You want to know why? Because how many times? Just think about it, Noomsy. How many times Duncan Robinson played throughout the whole during regular season?
Tyler Hero took his spot because Tyler Hero is a much more potent offensive player, and Tyler Hero is not there tonight.
Yes, but he wasn't.
Duncan
what I'm saying,
Robinson last year was our starter, so it's
You
not
not
like
paid him that money to be that man, though.
yeah, but Noomsy, I'm giving you credit, but what I'm saying, he hasn't played regular season. That's it. That's the only thing I'm saying. Now, Quickly, he has played the regular season as a starter, as a bench player, and we seen Quickly lighting it up. There has been night.
True, but you give Duncan Robinson those same looks that Quickly gets, and do you think that Duncan Robinson has the same outcome as Quickly? No. Duncan Robinson, if Duncan Robinson gets the look that Quickly get, like we're just letting Emmanuel Quick or Obi Toppin, for example, you can't sleep and let Max Strus or Duncan Robinson get the looks that we're living with Obi Toppin and Quickly get.
Noomsy,
We're living with them.
We could
Them
say
boys
the
are
same
getting
thing for
wide
our guys,
open
bro.
jump
Even
shots.
Grimes.
No one's even close to them when they're shooting the ball. Do you think you can sleep on Max or Duncan like that?
the main reason I feel like a Sportra, your coach is actually guarding Quickly at a certain way. You want to know why? Quickly is a change tempo type of guy. If he start feeling it and he riles up the crowd, remember what they call your arena? What do they call it? MSG South. MSG South. That's how much. And I'm telling you right now. Let me just say it, Lucy. If Quickly start going like this and start screaming with his track, oh man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be hard.
It don't make it like I was telling Kev. The New York Knicks travel well. You guys have traveled well for the past as long as I've been a basketball fan. Yeah. But that doesn't really amount to nothing if this is y'all first playoff appearance in the last 12 years. So yeah, okay, bring who you want. Bring the Fugees out there. Y'all can bring, I don't know, y'all can bring Diamond D. Y'all can bring Buster Rhymes. Y'all can bring whoever y'all want into the Miami arena, and y'all can go as wild and bananas as y'all want. But it's not them boys is not gonna come on the court and play for y'all. Because if that
Okay.
was the case, y'all would be winning championships every year. Yeah, I get it. Let's talk about it. Y'all do travel well, but we don't fear that. Of course, we know y'all gonna
We
be in the
don't,
building.
but you
Of
got to
course, we know it's
remember,
gonna be New
we
York Knicks
don't
fans out there. That's even more sweeter for when we win.
we
Y'all,
don't
y'all,
tra-
y'all travel well. We get it.
we
Applause.
don't we
Bring
don't
who you
travel.
want.
We
It's
got
not
people
gonna make
there
a
already.
difference.
They live there. We got people that live there. They don't need to travel.
Word.
New
They
York,
already
man,
rooted down there.
I think the New Yorkers outweigh the Floridians, bro.
Nah,
I'm
nah,
not.
no. You going to your gone to blood clot fire.
Yo, nah, yo, the truth in my talk, man. Yo, what y'all talking about, Numsy? Yo,
No,
Numsy.
I heard.
The truth
hola.
in
Man,
my
this
talk,
Bombo
man
man.
is
clot.
wild, man.
The
You
truth
can't
in
say
my
that
talk,
type of thing,
Numsy.
Mr.
Yo,
Boy. Hold on,
I'm to
brethren.
you.
Hold on, brethren.
I'm
You
to you,
can't do
man.
them type
Yo,
of thing, Mister. Lord have mercy, yo. Hey,
trust me.
yo, but I love the confidence. I love the energy that we got. This is what playoff basketball is all about.
It's a
This
fact.
is what
It's a
the Heat
fact.
and Knicks rivalry is all about, and this is why I came here on your territory, on your turf, one deep, solo dolo, to stand up and hold down for mine because this is what made me the basketball fan that I am. So I love it. I love it. I don't feel attacked. I don't feel gay. I love it. I'm feeding off of this. So I just want y'all to have that same energy after game 3. I want to see all y'all same faces. You too,
Listen,
Miss Nicks.
hey,
Mrs. Nick,
listen.
I want you right
Oh,
back
you'll
here.
see me. I don't back
I
down
want
for
you right back here
Yeah,
at the
nobody.
right here.
concrete.
Talk that
Hey,
shit, miss. That
I,
talk that shit,
Word.
Hannah.
Nobody.
Go
I
ahead,
heard.
Talk
Emma.
that shit.
I want all of y'all here. I want all of y'all back
Trust
here. I'm
me.
gonna be right
Listen,
back here, one deep with my red cup once again. Well, I'm probably have on a different Heat hat. Probably won't be this one. I probably rock the red or the white because when we in Miami, we rock the white like them Santeros because we coming through with all of the. Yeah, you know what's up. You know what it is. You know them Santeros
you
gonna
know
be
what?
out
You
there
know
in
what?
Miami.
Next time, you could bring your peoples. I'll send you the chat. I'll send you
Oh
the
yeah,
link.
yeah. I
And,
won't be
and
alone
yo,
next
bring
time. I
bring your
won't be
peoples,
alone next
man.
time.
We can
Please
have
believe me.
we can have an all out debate.
Let's do it.
Your whoever you want to bring, and whoever we got here, baby. We don't back down from nobody. Knicks fans, win or lose, we come with the smoke, bro.
Let's
We come
do
with
it.
the
Let's
smoke.
do it. I love it. I love it.
Hey,
Salute,
Yeah,
salute,
man.
salute. Yeah. I'm gonna sign off in a bit because I do want to check out a little bit of this. Where we got the
The
Lakers and
Lakers
Warriors
and the
playing. I want to check that out, but
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
a
gonna
fact.
leave y'all with this again. I'm really confident. I feel good about going into game 3. I don't feel bad about game two's loss. A lot of times when we lose games, I feel really bad and I'm down on my team. But in this instance, I feel really good. So I'm looking forward to it. And I want the same type of smoke. I want the same smoke. And again, salute and I appreciate y'all for having me here because I'm a visitor, I'm an outsider, and y'all let me come in
right.
here. But I feel like I held my own, and
You gotta
I'm
take
looking
your
for I'm
shoes
looking
off when you
forward
come in the
to it.
Yo,
building, B.
word, man. Make yo,
You know what I
yo,
mean?
yo. Take off your shoes when y'all walking out the house, man. What happened to your boy? You don't know the rules already, man.
Hold
There
on,
you
We not
go.
to
brethren.
There
tell
Where
you
you
I
again. We
go.
go?
not
Okay,
to tell you,
hold on.
dog. We not to tell you, dog.
My
Nah,
Trust me.
but
boy, that's
it's all love, man. It's all love. That's my guy, Chill. I
Definite,
know
man.
Chill for
All
10 years.
love, Numsy. All
We
love, Numsy.
always it's
Definite,
always
man.
been like this. We get
Definite,
chippy
man.
sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's all love, man.
Always.
always love y'all. Thanks again for having me. Yo, I'm
Nah,
about to
no
get into
doubt.
this game, and we chop it up. We chop it up in game 3. I'll
All
holler at
right, go
y'all
ahead,
boys.
do your thing. I want to talk to
Yo,
my
man,
guys
and respect, Numsy. Yeah.
before we log off. All right, we're gonna let you leave, do your thing, and I'm gonna chop it up with these guys here real quick.
All right, definitely. And yo, let me get I get a quick plug in there,
Yeah,
quick
yeah, do your
plug.
thing, man.
All
Talk
right,
your
yeah,
shit.
y'all definitely check out my podcast, Sports Coasters. That's on YouTube. It's Sports Coasters, like a coaster you drink on, except I'm going coast to coast with it. So check me out, Sports Coasters on YouTube. Y'all tune in. It's also on IG, Sports Coasters on IG and on Facebook as well. So y'all shout out, check me out, and 305 in this thing. Y'all know what it is. Peace.
All right, man. Be easy, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yo, that's my guy, man. That's my guy, man. So, yo, man, I really appreciate y'all, for coming through. But what y'all think, man? Like, what y'all think we gotta do to win this next game, man? We could go one at a time. Go ahead. I'm gonna go with Miss Nick first. Let the queen go first.
To win the next game, well, to win any game going forward, I think we can't let them set in the zone. They're stuck on that zone. We got to run. We got to play our game. Because once they set, we're getting stagnant. So we need to run and gun like we've been doing all season. Somebody on the bench got to step up and help our starters, um, and just continue to play defense like we've been. I mean, we've been dogs on the D. So just offensively, I mean, I don't think it's not going to click all series. You know what I mean? Like we've we've had okay games. We've had worse games than we've seen these last two games. So I think the zone is catching up to this team. But if we run and gun and don't let them set, we're good.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Good shit. Good shit, man. What you think, Nice?
Man, I'm feeling like we need a shooter, man. That's the only way that we gonna win this, like easily, if we get somebody knocking those three shots. Because the thing is, think about it this way: the main reason the Heat is giving us not problems but a challenge is because Brunson cannot do his thing underneath the court. It doesn't spread out, and the thing is that Miami they not respecting R3 because nobody is knocking them. So they're gonna play even tougher on Jalen Brunson because they know that Jalen Brunson pretty much gets all his score underneath the brim. So we need shooters. I just hope, man. I'm gonna start praying. I hope quickly start getting well, man, because I need quickly or Grimes, man. One of those
Yeah,
two.
yeah, that's true, man. That's true, man. How about you, Fraz?
Well, I'm gonna say it like this, man. As y'all know, it's mostly a nine-guy rotation, man. Last game we got outscored in bench points, right? It's three things that need to happen for us to win game three. Number one, our bench got to come through and outscore theirs. Number two, we need to push the pace. This team is a slower paced team. When they get comfortable in that slow setup offense and come down, set up zone and defense, that's their comfort zone. We got to get into our comfort zone when it comes to pushing the pace, pushing the tempo, and attacking them, especially when the transition, especially when you grab the rebound, they got to look for that outlet pass more because a lot of times that outlet pass is there, but they're just not looking up the court to see. And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And then the third thing is the most important thing. Gotta hit the 15, the 20 to 3 point shot. Gotta hit those.
Right.
Gotta hit those. And you gotta keep attacking the zone because the key is like Randall's shown you in game two. When you get past that first layer of the zone, you know three guys is coming. Tommy T needs to send that other play that he got where he sets the screen, where they set the double screen, and then you got Mitch rolling off the back door off the far side. There's a lob every time if he runs that right when they collapse, when they pinch on the double team. There's a lob every time, bro.
That's a
If,
fact. I
if kids
agree.
see that and adjust to that, yo, bro, I'm telling you, every time we gonna beat them.
I agree. I agree. How about you, Ray?
I think one of the main things is rotations. I do like what Josh Hart brings to us, but I do believe that he needs to go back to the bench for the betterment of the team. I think Quentin Grimes would provide that catch and shoot spacing, even if he misses it. He's providing that space for the other guys to operate. Josh Hart can hit that shot, but I don't know if you guys saw last game. Early in the game, he didn't look like he was prepared to shoot the three whenever he caught the ball. He seemed like he settled down in the fourth quarter. His body language kind of relaxed a bit, so he looked like he was ready to hit that catch and shoot, and he did in the corner. But I think he needs to come off the bench to help quickly and Obi get started, and that's going to help with the transitional game as well too. Um, we need to control the boards. We need to control the boards. Just continue to do that. As long as Randall plays and Mitchell and Hartenstein play, or Hartenstein, I should say, play, then I feel like we have a pretty good shot. And I think the last piece too is we've got to get another player going. You know, whether it's Grimes, whether it's quickly, one more person needs to step up. We need to have that fourth person that gives us again that 10 to 15 points consistently. So that's how I feel. I feel like we're in okay shape. Um, Again, our best basketball is ahead of us.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't put it together very well, but I'm pretty confident we can take at least one down the NFC South.
I
Um,
think.
um, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean
Nah,
to.
I was just gonna say. I think we need a fifth person, right? I think we need. I think we need two people, right? Because you see how they other guys are stepping up on us, man. Even like Caleb Martin stepped up big game one. Gabe Vincent stepped up. We gotta have. I think we gotta have two guys off the bench, whether it be OB and Quickly or you know we gotta have two guys step up and contribute with the scoring, man, because that's how we keep up with them.
And maybe like I'm slightly confused because I know. Listen, I know Deuce ain't the best offensive player, but he does bring some kind of grit on the defensive end.
Mhm.
Like he could he could be used as like to a guy to give Gabe Vincent some problem. You know what I mean? Like because
Yeah.
I feel like Deuce is a bully when it comes to defense. And towards the end, like I would say, even when we put him to play in the last series, he started knocking down his shots. So you never know, man. He could be that one to to come off the bench and spark the bench up as well. I think Coach Tommy T should look that way.
Yeah. In
And
the
I think one
playoffs,
more
man.
thing, we have to make our free throws. Like we
Yeah.
leaving too many points
Mhm.
on the court. I think the first game we missed 8, and the second game we missed 9. We would have hit our free throws in game one. We'd have won by one, right?
One. Yep.
We'd have hit our free throws in game two. It'd have been a blowout.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a fact. I agree. I agree. I know RJ was struggling with the free throws. He did everything else well, but he was missing a lot of free throws. So that does hurt us. But let's see what they bring in game three, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they bring to the table. And I'm just hoping that our bench shows up, man. We need our bench to come through in a big, big way in this game because to me, I think game three is a much needed win.
I mean, I don't think it's needed. I mean, we just got to the same way win one over there. But
Yeah,
I'm with Fraz. We've been a better road team all season. All
right.
season we've been a better road team. So I mean it is what it is. If we could bring two home from there, I'm super happy. As long as we get one, I'm good. I mean, nobody ever said the series was going to be easy. We know it's going to be a dogfight, just based off of how well the teams match up. You know what I'm saying? So I hear like a lot of Knicks fans, oh, 5, 6. Nah, this series going to 7. It's probably going to
Mm.
7.
Yeah,
I mean.
it'll be a tough series, man. But um, I'm about to get up out of here. We almost on 2 hours. Yeah, it was a good show though, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up and talking basketball and it was a great show, man. And it's always good to see our Knicks riding high like this, man. We haven't seen this in a long time.
Facts.
So I'm gonna end it with that. I appreciate y'all for pulling up and everybody enjoy their night. Salute.
Hey.
Hold
Salute,
up,
brothers
guys. Hold up.
and
I
sisters.
mean